Hi guys, my name is Tien. So today I will present about my culture. So it's about Vietnam. So here is the agenda for today. First, I will talk about greetings in Vietnam. By that I mean I will talk about the basic words and also some simple phrases of Vietnam. Next, I will give a small introduction about my country. Then for the third part, it's gonna be about the places that I recommend you to visit in my country. Finally, I'm gonna talk about the festivals and also some interesting facts about my country. So here we come to the very first part of the presentation, which is the greetings. So the first sentence is hi. It's really complex to say naturally, so I will just make it simple. The perfect way to say hi is xin chào or simply just chào, which is more natural. For hi, there's also another way we use in most cases is to call by names, but just use it when you see someone at the same age as you or younger than you. For those who are older than you, don't just call by names because it's really impolite. When we want to say thank you, we can say cảm ơn, and xin lỗi is for sorry. For goodbye, we use tạm biệt, but no one really uses it because it's kind of awkward. Instead, we say bye bye, which is more natural. To express surprise, we say trời ơi. It means oh my god. I think if you hear Vietnamese talking regularly, you will hear this sentence a lot in their conversation. For the next part, here we come to the small introduction to Vietnam. So where is Vietnam? I think you already see it on the map I put right here. It's next to Cambodia and Laos, but it's under China. The shape of my country looks like the letter S in English. For seasons, I think most people will think that Vietnam is hot. Yeah, it is, but it depends. For the north side of Vietnam, we have four seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter, and it is cold for the winter. But that's the different story in the south. I think in the south they just have the dry and rainy season. When it's dry season, it's really hot in the afternoon, so people don't really want to go out at that time. Instead, they stay inside to enjoy the air conditioner. About the language of Vietnam, as you can see from the chart I put right here, it is definitely most people use Vietnamese to communicate in Vietnam. We also have different dialects for different parts of Vietnam. You can also see from the chart here, there is 1% called Hoa. That's the one who speaks Chinese in Vietnam. Even though we speak a lot of languages, I think we still understand each other quite well. I live in the south of Vietnam, and I think just the dialects in the central is sometimes hard to understand because they use like different way of talking, also a different vocabulary. However, I would like to learn it if I have a chance because it's really interesting. Next, here we go to the place to visit in Vietnam, which is recommended by me, so maybe not all Vietnamese people agree with me. However, I did travel a lot. I think most part of Vietnam, so you can still believe me. On the top one place, I highly recommend Ha Long Bay. This place was listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1994 in recognition of its outstanding and universal value. I traveled to a lot of places in Vietnam when I was a kid, but I forgot most of them. However, Ha Long Bay is still one of the places I still remember, although it's such a long time, because of the magnificent view and also really nice experience. When you come here, you can go diving or you can also go kayaking. Even if you like seafood, I think it's also definitely a very nice place because Ha Long has really fresh seafood, although the price can be more expensive compared to other places in Vietnam. So for the next one, we have Hội An. I think it's a very beautiful and a very nice place to go. Hội An Ancient Town is an exceptionally well-preserved example of a Southeast Asian trading port. dating from the 15th to the 19th century. It is also a very beautiful town in Vietnam, captivates visitors with its architecture and also colorful lanterns at night. The building is very old and very unique. You cannot find it anywhere else in Vietnam. Here you can also enjoy the view of the lanterns at night, try delicious food and buy souvenirs. So for the next place we have Sapa. If you hate the hot weather of Vietnam just like me, I think you should come to this place to try because it has really cold weather. Sapa is a very beautiful town located in the Lao Cai province of Vietnam. It is famous for its stunning landscapes and also rich cultural diversity. Situated in the Hoàng Linh Sơn mountain range, Sapa is known for its green rice terraces and misty valleys. I come to this place before and I really like the view. Also enjoy the weather because it's not hot as Ho Chi Minh City. Also, if you like the countryside, I think it's also a very good place to visit. So the final place I recommend is in the city I live in, Ho Chi Minh City. This place is actually not recommended by me, but by most of my friends when I ask. You can take a photo outside, like the picture right here, or you can buy ticket and go inside. I heard from my friend that they allow tourists to go in, but we need to make schedule before, so yeah, a little complicated. Still, it overlooks the walking street and also the surrounding view is really great and really good for a visit. Here we come to the next slide on the festival in Vietnam. Because my country has a lot of festivals, so I will just introduce the famous one. So for the top one we have Tết, short for Tết Nguyên Đán, is the most important celebration in Vietnamese culture. Tết celebrates the arrival of spring based on the Vietnamese calendar and usually has the date in January or February. Vietnamese people usually go to temples and pagodas on the Tết holiday. They also come and visit their family or go back to their home on this occasion. Just like me, on Tết holiday, I will take a flight back home to visit my family and also to receive the lucky money. Next, we come to the Mid-Autumn Festival, which is called Tết Trung Thu in Vietnamese. It is a festival mainly for children with the purpose of bringing happiness to the kids through traditional customs and activities such as folk dancing, singing, or playing games. Because as I mentioned before, it's for children, so maybe you can bring your younger sister or your younger brothers to come. However, we can still enjoy the view of the lanterns like the picture right here. I think that's all what I want to present today about my culture. Do you have any question? I think my presentation was pretty clear, so maybe there will be no question. Anyway, thanks for listening. The first one that I want to introduce is bún bò Huế, one of my most favorite Vietnamese food that I really want to recommend. It's a rich and spicy soup with deep layers of flavor. This central Vietnamese soup is paired with the tender slices of beef and pork, then topped with lots of fresh herbs. I like this one more than any Vietnamese food, even more than pho. Actually, it looks spicy in the picture, but it's just a little, not that much. So for the next one, I think pho is also famous when talking about Vietnam. Pho is a traditional Vietnamese soup consisting of broth, noodles, meat, and fresh herbs. Its unique flavor is made by simmering beef and chicken bones. I think this one is the most famous Vietnamese dish internationally. Every Vietnamese restaurant in foreign country have this one. One fact about me is that when I was a kid, I don't like pho, but when I grow up, I start to like it again. I don't know why. Next we have bánh mì. The Vietnamese name is also bánh mì. It's just like the French baguette, but it's more delicious because there are a lot of fillings that you can put inside. For example, you can put meat, fish cake, or simply just omelette with fresh herbs. I usually eat bánh mì when I have breakfast because it's really convenient to bring to school. Vietnamese people also eat bánh mì at breakfast or in the afternoon. So for the next time when you travel to Vietnam, I think you should give my recommendations a try. For the next slide, I will present about the cultural differences between Vietnam and Taiwan, also some interesting facts about my country. So for the first, I think we have already covered in class is that the Taiwanese food is a little bland with not much flavor. However, Vietnamese food is a little salty and flavorful. So here you can see a lot of sauce when we eat. Some of my Vietnamese friends, including me, bring the sauce with us when we eat the Taiwanese food. In the picture, you can see the chili sauce, the fish sauce, and the soy sauce. The next one I want to present is about the milk tea in Vietnam. It is indeed a little different from that of Taiwan. They have more toppings, as you can see in the picture, because I don't know why, but Vietnamese people, including me, love full toppings milk tea and we usually order that. Finally, here we come to áo dài. Maybe you have heard of it before because it's really popular in my country. The áo dài is a national costume of Vietnam for women. Right here you can see the picture of áo dài. I think we have both áo dài for men and for women in Vietnam, but áo dài for women is mentioned more regularly than men. In high school, there are some days girls in school wear áo dài to go to school. Yeah, I do like áo dài, but wearing that for school is a little inconvenient since we can't play sport at the break time. The only occasion that I like to wear áo dài is the Lunar New Year when we visit our relatives and go to temples. When you go to Vietnam in Tết holiday, I think you will see a lot of girls wear áo dài, and I think it's kind of special and a very beautiful culture of us to do that. So I think that's all what I want to present today about my culture. Do you have any questions? I think my presentation was pretty clear, so maybe there will be no questions. Anyway, thank you for listening.